Welcome students. Today in this video we will try to understand the neoclassical age in English literature, which is also known as Augustan age. About the mid 17th century, a new change came over the English poetic temperament. The metaphysical wave which we have discussed in the earlier videos had exhausted itself and had left literary standards and values confused. Thus, the leading writers of the time, such as Pope, Swift, and Addison, and many others, drew the parallel to the Roman Augustans and deliberately imitated their literary forms and subjects, their emphasis on social concerns, and their ideals of moderation, decorum, and urbanity. The return to a greater restraint and more rigid framework was accelerated by the powerful influence of French literary tastes derived from classical literature on the English courts with the restoration of Charles II. Very soon, the new, or rather ancient spirit made itself felt in all branches of literary activities. Seneca provided the model for tragedy, Plautus and Terence for comedy, Virgil for epic, and pastoral Juvenal for satire, and Horace with his Ars Poetica for literary taste and criticism. The change involved the training of instinct rather than erratic self expression. The period in which this movement flourished is known by at least three titles: the Classical Age, with reference to the standards it preached; the Augustan Age, because it resembled that of the Emperor Augustus in the golden period of its literature; and the Age of Reason and Good Sense, based as it was on the good sense ideal of French critic Boileau, formulated in 1673. Now we will try to understand the main features of the Augustan age, which were the respect for rules, intellectual quality, insistence on a set poetic style, emergence of the heroic couplet, treatment of town life, and satirical poetry. The first important feature of Augustan age was respect for rules. The poet of this period insisted that poetry should follow rules correctly, the rules which had been laid down by such ancient critics as Horace and Aristotle, and which had been interpreted for them by the French writers Bolle and Raffin. This rule and discipline were accepted and practiced with enthusiasm by the new school. Perfect form was the ideal, the substance was of minor importance. The second one is intellectual quality. The leader the leader of this movement, the writers, the leading writers of this period kept themselves away from all extravagance and emotionalism. They were governed by a spirit of reason and a good sense, and were above all things, these two things were of most importance. Their poetry was addressed to the intellect, not to the feelings. They tried to repress emotions and enthusiasm, and being correct and elegant in their expression was their motto. The third one is insistence on a set poetic style. Due to the overpowering importance to the rules and intellectualism, their preoccupation with form encouraged an artificial style. The vocabulary must be neither colloquial nor technical. it had to be selected from diction most appropriate for the art of poetry, that is, refined from the grossness of domestic use. Everyday language was not accepted, and so were novel expressions. This resulted in the standardization of literary language and diction. Another important aspect was the emergence of the heroic couplet, the best medium for realizing the poetic ideals of the time proved to be heroic couplet. It was suitable for drama, epic, and satire, the three most widely practiced literary forms of the age. Pope and Dryden perfected this form. Precise and lacking the passion, it became the natural medium for the expression of the intellectual mood of the age. Then, the treatment of town life. The literary range of the period was strictly limited. It is the literature of the town and the fashionable upper circles of the city of London. The writers claim to follow nature, but the nature they follow is human nature, as revealed by the fashionable circles of the London. Next, the satirical poetry. Drama and epic were beyond the reach of the writers of this period. They lacked lyrical intensity and could not write lyrics. They excel only in one kind of poetry, that is satiric. The development of satire resulted from the union of politics with literature. Satire came to be practiced more and more as London life and current passion and controversies offered it almost unlimited scope. As the poetry, or one can say the literature of this period, was more emerged more from the logical the part of the mind, and it attracted to the reason and logic. So the satire was the most suitable form that fitted to the writers of this age. So if you have any queries related to this age, you can write your queries in the comment box. I will try to explain them, or you can directly message me. Thank you.